Hey everyone! Today we're going to talk about an amazing group of people who have been a big part of North Africa's history. They're called the Berbers, or as they call themselves, the Amazigh. These people have lived in North Africa for thousands of years, and for a long time, they were the main group in the huge Saharan region. Before the 8th century CE, when the Islamic conquests happened, the Berbers were at the center of life in North Africa. Even though today they are a smaller group, their history and culture are still very important. In old writings they were often called Libyans, a name given by the Greeks and Romans. The name Berber comes from the Latin word barbarus, which Romans used to describe people they thought weren't as advanced as them. But don't let that fool you. The Berbers' history is rich and deeply connected to many ancient cultures. A long time ago, before the Sahara turned into the desert it is now, the Berbers' ancestors lived in a green and fertile North Africa. There were lots of animals back then that don't live there anymore. We know about this because of the rock paintings they left behind in caves. These early people hunted, gathered food, and believed in gods connected to nature, like the sun and moon. Their beliefs were similar to those of the ancient Egyptians, which suggests they shared some cultural roots. Rocks were important in their traditions too. They built stone monuments and used rocks for burial sites. This focus on stone was something they shared with other groups, like the Nabateans and other ancient peoples in the region. The Berbers also had a long history with ancient Egypt. As far back as the 13th century BCE, Egyptian records mention Berber tribes like the Meshwesh and Ribu. Sometimes they fought against the Egyptians, and other times they shared ideas and influenced each other. Early Berbers even created their own writing system inspired by Egyptian hieroglyphs. Later they started using a script based on the Phoenician alphabet. The Phoenicians were another group the Berbers interacted with. When the Phoenicians set up the city of Carthage in North Africa around the 9th century BCE, they found that the Berbers were great trading partners. By that time, many Berbers had settled down as farmers and herders. They became an important part of Carthaginian society, but not everything was fair. While some Berbers were traders and farmers, many were forced to work as servants or join the Carthaginian military. Two Berber kingdoms, Numidia and Mauritania, became especially important during this time. The Numidian cavalry, known for their incredible horse-riding skills, played a big role in the Punic Wars. One Numidian leader, Massinissa, first supported Carthage but later switched sides to help the Roman Republic. This decision helped the Romans defeat Hannibal at the Battle of Zama, and made Numidia a Roman client state. Under Roman influence, the Berbers started to see changes in their way of life, like improvements in farming and trade. But Roman rule wasn't always smooth. Leaders like Jugurtha fought hard to keep the Berbers independent, even though he was eventually captured during the Jugurthine War. Later, another leader named Juba II tried to resist Roman control during the Great Roman Civil War, but he was defeated by Julius Caesar. After that, the Romans took full control of Numidia and Mauritania and made them part of their empire. Even with Roman rule, the Berbers kept a lot of their culture and traditions. While some things changed because of Roman influence, their identity stayed strong. It wasn't until Christianity and later Islam spread across the region that bigger changes happened in their society. Still, many of their ancient traditions survived, showing just how resilient their culture is.